Welcome back to Stocks with BK. I'm BK, and today we're going to be looking at the portfolio, a little update. We're at $2,000 in, we're up $65. Most of those profits are coming from our shares in Moderna. Remember, on this channel, we do $1,000 a month into this portfolio to show you why it's good to invest over time. This is not my main investing portfolio, but this is just one to teach you. And that's why the disclaimer is that I am not a financial advisor, and you should definitely talk to one before investing in the stock market because it comes with risk. These videos are for education and just to kind of tell you that I like the stocks that I like and why. All right, let's get into the portfolio and kind of update you where we're at. As I've told you before, if you're new joining, DraftKings is something I really believe in for the future just because of the gambling aspect, and there's only 5 states in the United States that even have sports gambling legal, but the Supreme Court made it legal, so each state has to decide for themselves. I believe we just added 2 more, Maryland being one of those. So we've got a lot more to go, especially the big states once they get in. I see a lot of potential here. Some people like Penn National Gaming. I like DraftKings a little more because of the potential. It's a stock that Kathy Wood likes and ARK is going after, so DraftKings will be one I keep adding to every month. And probably my favorite stock, one I plan on adding heavily to with the next month, is GM. GM's PE ratio is low, like we're talking like 12 or 13. They are committed to fully EV by 2030. And I think whenever they start reporting their results, it's going to be blowout quarters. One risk there is definitely the semiconductor shortage, and we're about to really start to feel that as the year goes on. I have a really speculative position on IPOE, which is the SPAC that might end up taking SoFi uh, into its holdings, which will become the SoFi stock. SoFi is, of course, what we're using to invest in. This is really risky. SPACs are getting absolutely hammered lately over the last month, but I really like SoFi and I want to own some of it. But it is definitely my most speculative stock. Moderna is the strongest stock we have in terms of making money. On my main stock portfolio last year, Moderna made a lot of money for me. I was in it before the COVID even hit. Moderna is great. I think Moderna is still cheap right here. We'll probably be adding to that on the next month too. This mRNA technology is going to change the world. It already has with COVID, but wait till we get results on HIV and cancer vaccinations. These protein creations are just life changing. Palantir, of course, is a favorite among most people. You've probably heard of this one. I think if you've watched the first few videos, I told you I invested in this because my brother actually used this program during his time in the Army. There are programs they use, and I know what they do. I think it has a lot of potential. It's all about scaling this business down to where it's not just the government buying contracts or world governments. So we'll see what they can end up doing it, but I think it does have some potential, and it's a speculative one I want to own because the future is definitely technology based, and they are in the forefront of it all. Ford is another play on this EV, and I just think Ford is way too cheap not to take a risk on. For years, Ford did so bad, but it looks like Ford is cutting cost, and it looks like they might be going somewhere in the future of the EV market. I like Ford, I like GM. I don't blame people for buying Tesla, but I really like these because they're cheap right now. And then I added last week, this is when I added the news out of Morgan Stanley was very interesting for earnings. On earnings, they had incredible returns. We're talking big number returns, profit margins, but they were a part of the whole fiasco that went down with a billionaire local office, not a hedge fund, but like a local office manager who was wrapped up in Viacom and all this, defaulted on his loans, and all these Morgan Stanley and all these people lost money as a part of it. I think Morgan Stanley lost about $900 million, which is a lot. The question is, why did Morgan Stanley allow him to borrow so much money on a lien on margin? But we know that loans have gotten out of control over the last few years. So I still like Morgan Stanley. I actually think this is a good opportunity to buy at this price right now. So I'll be adding to that too. That's what the portfolio looks right now. We've got about 7 companies in the portfolio. We might be adding another one soon. It depends. We've got some great buying opportunities right now, but it's also some reasons to pause and say, let's keep adding to our holdings, not add anything new, because there could be a slight pullback coming soon. There's a lot of fear with inflation and things. Some people think we're just going to run hot and everything's going to be fine. But I would exercise some caution. In my main portfolio, I'm definitely using some caution, using some options, which we're going to talk about in a video soon. But to play it safe, we're going to invest over time and trust that over time that these stocks will go up. I don't blame people for investing in index funds, but I like to do it myself, avoid the fees, and it's worked out for the last decade. So I'll continue to do it. Anyway, I'm BK, and I want to hear what stocks you're buying, what you like, and why. And please subscribe, hit the like button, it helps me a ton, and I'll see you in the next video.